What to do if you are in a psychosis right now? Well, I have some or a list of really good tips. They are really crucial things to do, and if you manage to do them, you will get out of the psychosis. Of course, medication might be necessary. I'm very anti-medication in general, but if you are psychotic, then it might really be needed that you take some medication, maybe sleep medication, maybe antipsychotic medication. There's really no shame in taking these. You can stop afterwards. So really, it's okay. If it's necessary, then you must take them. That's really no problem at all. But on the other hand, it's not always necessary. We in general think that if you are psychotic, you need medication. Not always. If you take the tips that I'm going to give you right now, if you manage to do the things that I recommend, then it's very possible to get out of the psychosis on your own, with the help of a friend, preferably, but without any medication. So it is possible, but definitely no shame if you need to take anything. So first, what to do? Well, first step is to recognize that you are psychotic. I have a different video for that one, how to know if you are psychotic. I will link it in the description. That is the first major thing. Once you realize that the thoughts that you're having are not true, that they are actually psychosis, that's such a big step already. That is such a big win. You're halfway there as soon as you realize this. So realize that you're psychotic as a first. But it won't be enough to get it out of the psychosis. One of the main things is sleep. You're probably psychotic because you have not slept enough or at all the last few days. And sleep deprivation is one of the things that make you psychotic. So sleep. But of course, if you could just sleep, there would be no problem. The problem is that you cannot sleep. So I'll give you some tips on how to sleep. Um, Sleep medication is definitely one. I had a psychosis myself 3 years ago, and I did need to take sleep medication. I could not sleep without it. I only took it for 3 days, and that was enough to kind of break the sleepless pattern. So, medication might really be needed. Um, Another thing is, yeah, it kind of depends on why you're not sleeping. Well, in a sense, the reason why you're not sleeping is because the other team is doing things to keep you awake. The other team, the one that is attacking you spiritually and that is causing you to be psychotic. Again, I have a different video, what is a spiritual or what is a psychosis spiritually, where I explain that it is a spiritual attack by what I call the other team. So they are doing things to keep you awake, and this can be just flooding you with ideas, and then it's your mind racing and is keeping you awake. It can be fear, so that you believe that you must be alert because there is a demon attacking you, and you have to do things to keep you safe, so you cannot sleep because as soon as you save, the demon will attack. Not true, of course. This is one of the psychotic thoughts, but so they are implanting this thought, and that fear is keeping you awake. Um, I think that's probably, yeah, in both cases, it's just your mind. It's just the thoughts that are keeping you awake. It can be more physical. Somehow the other two team can do physical things. I have experienced this myself. I've heard my friends talk about it. They can give you physical sensations, physical pains. I had this huge sting in my stomach. I think it was. I'm not sure anymore. If it was, yeah, my stomach and my heart actually too. I had one in my stomach and one in my heart. As soon as I said this is not true, I'm not gonna do the things that I need to do anymore. I had this huge sting and I was like, okay, I'm gonna protect myself again. So they can do physical things that really, really scare you, but they are not dangerous. So when you get a sting in the heart, for example, you think they are giving you a heart attack, but they're not. They cannot do this. They cannot really harm you physically. They can make you afraid. So they do have some physical impact, which is linked to your trauma, but we'll not go into that. So they do have a limited physical impact, but they can never cause any real harm. On the long term, you will not have any results from this. I did not have any heart or stomach issues afterwards. It was just this pain, and then it was gone. So it's just something they use to scare you. They cannot harm you physically. I cannot stress this enough. They cannot harm you physically. All they can do is make you afraid, give you compulsory thoughts, and then you are the one acting upon these thoughts. You are the one hurting yourself and others. They cannot do this. But they can keep you awake by physical sensations, for example, which is really annoying, of course. So, depending on what is keeping you afraid, if it's just the mind, then it might be easier. If you, yeah, it's always difficult. Sleep medication might really, really be needed. But if you're trying without medication at first, don't try this too long because, yeah, the longer you're in the sleep deprivation, the worse it gets, the more psychotic you get. So feel free to try to sleep, but don't try it for too long and don't be afraid to take some sleep medication for a short, limited period so that you don't get addicted. But so, again, how to sleep. There are ways. You can train your mind in becoming quiet. But this is maybe more a thing to start training after the psychosis because training the mind to be quiet so that you can sleep is difficult on its own. And if you're psychotic, then it's extra difficult. So, but it is a thing that you can definitely do. Because once the mind is quiet, there is no reason why the body can't sleep anymore. As soon as you can shut off the thoughts, poof, you will sleep. If there is not a physical thing stopping you. So what I'll do at some point is I'll make an audio track or a video. Not sure yet. I will link it in the description as soon as it's there. To help you to sleep, to where I will speak light language, which really can induce this kind of safe bubble around you. It can quiet the mind. So in normal circumstances, this will help you go to sleep. But if you're psychotic, it will probably not be enough. So again, don't be afraid to take sleep medication. It's probably going to be needed because you must sleep. This is maybe the most crucial thing of how to get out of the psychosis. Make sure that you sleep. So I'll link that audio file or video if you want to try this on your own. If it doesn't work, go to a doctor, get sleep medication. So first thing of how to get out of the psychosis, sleep. Second thing is stop any spiritual practice that you are doing because or anything that you are doing that is compulsory. It's not always spiritual practice, but anything that you think you must do because otherwise horrible things will happen, stop doing that thing. Which will be difficult because you think that something terrible is going to happen, but believe me, it won't. And as soon as you stop doing a thing and you notice nothing terrible is happening, this helps you so much in realizing that the thoughts indeed are not real, that they are psychotic thoughts, that they are lies, in fact, told by the other team. For example, if you think that you must be in a specific location because that's the only place where you're safe, then go to a different location and you'll be just as safe. If you think that you must pray to keep you safe, stop praying. Nothing bad will happen. If you think you have to protect yourself with whatever spiritual practice, stop this practice and you will still be safe. So just stop doing anything spiritual because mostly it's linked to a psychosis is very often linked to spiritual things because it is a spiritual thing. So it's kind of go back to living in the physical material world for a while and stop any meditation, any connection to the higher realms, any connection to spirit. Just pretend like none of it is real. Live like most of the people are living on earth right now, only believing in the physical and only taking in the physical. And if you think, but if I do this, then I will be harmed in some ways, then terrible things will happen. Just realize that most of people are not praying, are not making fields, are not going to these safe places, and they are perfectly safe. So when you purely live in a physical world and you let go of everything else for a while, you are perfectly safe. And this is, of course, because this is blocking your channel. Your higher self and your team cannot come in anymore, but that's okay because the other team cannot come in anymore either. That's what you want. You want to block your spiritual channel for a while. And then as soon as you're out of the psychosis that you have recovered, you can, of course, slowly start doing whatever spiritual thing you want again. But for now, to get out of psychosis, it's really fine to not be spiritual for a while. Stop all of it. Just live in the physical world, sleep, eat. Also, a very important thing because not eating makes you ungrounded, makes you open up, and that makes you more vulnerable to spiritual attack as well. So, eat a lot, eat lots of grounding things, eat whatever you feel like. Um, yeah, really live in the world, which means go outside, connect to nature, connect to people, connect to animals. Um, this is actually point three already. Don't be alone. So I'll stick to point two for now. So stop any spiritual practice that you're having or any compulsory thing that you're doing. Stop doing it and really put your mind to it. Don't stop it for half an hour. Stop it for at least a week, preferably a month, at least until you're very, very out of the psychosis. So really put your mind to it. I'm stopping all of these things that I think I must do now. I'm not doing them anymore. And really, believe me, nothing horrible will happen. Quite the opposite. You will get out of the psychosis this way. If you manage to sleep, if you stop doing the things that you must do, then you actually are out of the psychosis already. And then point three, which I already touched upon, don't be alone. Especially if you're really deep into the psychosis, it so helps to be with other people, even though they will think you're psychotic because you are. And yeah, it doesn't feel great, of course, when people think you're crazy. It's not nice, but still, you need other people. You feel so much safer when you're around other people, and getting out of a psychosis is very much about feeling safe. Once you feel safe and connected, it's so much easier to stop believing these compulsory thoughts that you're having. So connect to people, preferably, also connect to animals and nature, but people is really the essential part. Then, number four of what you can do to get out of a psychosis is raise your vibration. Because you can only become psychotic if you're in the lower vibrations. And the lower vibrations means the emotion of fear, of anger, of shame, of guilt. And it's mostly fear in a psychosis. So once that you get out of these low emotions and go into the high emotions, the high vibrations, which are, for example, gratitude, which are joy, which are love, which are compassion, then you are not vulnerable to spiritual attack anymore, and you are not vulnerable to psychosis anymore. But how to get there? Of course, it's easy to say. Make sure that you're happy. How to get there is, for example, the frequency of joy is a very good one. How do you make yourself joyful? By singing, by dancing, by putting on a very happy tune, a tune that will not correspond with how you're feeling right now at all. Like I don't know, depends on your preference for music. Maybe I'm singing in the rain or any really really happy song. Put it on and dance to it. Dance as crazy as you can, and it will feel like so inappropriate for what you're feeling right now. But that's because what you're feeling right now is so low in vibration, and what you're doing is so high in vibration. And of course, the two don't match. So you don't want to do this thing, but just do it anyway. And doing it will get you higher in vibration. And the higher you are, the easier it is to get out of the psychosis. So sing and dance, and don't put on the depressive songs that you like so much. Put on the really happy songs that you maybe are not that fond of, but the happier the better. So that's to connect yourself to the frequency of joy. The frequency of gratitude is also a very good one, a very high one. So and how you get there is by thinking about all the things that make you grateful. And of course, once you're in a psychosis, you're not that grateful. Again, because you're in a vibration that doesn't match with gratitude. But if you force yourself to think of how grateful you are that there are trees in the world, there are plants, that there are animals that are so innocent and beautiful, that you have this friend, that you have whatever makes you grateful. Really think about it and really thank the universe. Thank you for giving this to me. Whatever it is, the smallest thing that makes you grateful, um, go to that in your mind. Really feel it. Feel the gratitude, and this will get you to that frequency of gratitude, which is so much higher than the frequency of fear that you are in when you are psychotic. Another very high frequency, obviously, is love. Love is a I'm not sure if it's the highest frequency, but it's very high. How do you go to the frequency of love? You think about all of the things and people that you love. You think about the things in your life that you love. So it's the same as gratitude. You really think about them. You feel it. You feel the love that you have for these things, no matter how small, how stupid it might sound. Maybe it's your cat. You can be so fond of animals. They give you so much love. You give them so much love, and there's nothing wrong with it. We often look at it like animals are yeah, a lot of people look at love for animals like it's not supposed to be there. But it is, you are supposed to love your cat and your dog and your hamster or whatever. And feel that love, feel how great it is that this animal is in your life, or this person, or this object, or whatever, whatever it is that you love, feel it and be grateful. And then you combine the love and the gratitude. So that's how you get yourself to the higher frequencies. But really, don't forget the joy one. It's not the easiest one because you don't feel like putting on these crazy happy tunes. You don't feel like dancing, but do it anyway because it will so lift you up, and that is what you need right now. The next tip is the last one, and that is put your mind to it. And I mean, really want to get out of the psychosis. And if you say, I want this and I will do it, then you will, because your mind is so powerful. We don't realize how powerful we are. And with the willpower, with the power of our mind, we can stop this. If you say to yourself, from now on, I realize I'm psychotic and I'm gonna get out of it no matter what. I will do what it takes. I am going to get out of it, and you will. For example, in my psychosis, I will link the story of my own psychosis below. But one of the things that triggered the psychosis for me, or that got me into psychosis, was automatic physical movements. And these physical movements on their own were not a sign of the psychosis. I still have them. They are they are great. But when they first started, when I first had my spiritual awakening, my body started to have these automatic physical movements, and I could not turn them off. Um, and I could not sleep because I could not turn them off. And yeah, there were more things, but you'll hear all of this in my story. But so a major thing for me was stopping these physical movements. And I thought, but I cannot stop them. They are automatic. This is the entire problem. But then I really put my mind to it. Right now, these movements stop. I don't want them anymore, because that was kind of why they were still there, because I wanted them, because I knew they were doing good things. I knew they were healing me, but I didn't really want to stop them, even though I was going into psychosis. So when it was enough, I said, I'm stopping these movements right now. I'm not doing another movement anymore. And if you really commit to this, then you can do it. The movements stopped. As soon as I meant it, as I put all of my willpower into it, they stopped. And whatever is causing your psychosis right now, or whatever is keeping you psychotic, maybe whatever, maybe it's believing these compulsive thoughts. If you say right now, I'm not believing the thoughts anymore, I'm not acting upon them anymore. Right now, I'm not gonna do anything anymore that I think I must do. I'm just not doing it anymore. Put all of your willpower there, and you will stop doing them, and you will get out of the psychosis. Because the psychosis is purely believing the thoughts and acting upon them. That is the essence of your psychosis. And if you're not doing that anymore, psychosis is gone. And if you stop it for long enough, for like, for example, a week, then you really realize, okay, I did not have to do these things, and you're not believing the compulsory thoughts anymore, and you're out of the psychosis. So it's really putting your mind to it. You can use a mantra to help you. This is repeating in your mind a phrase, for example. Um, it can be whatever you want. It can be, I am not psychotic, or I'm out of the psychosis, for example. You could say, I'm out of the psychosis for a million times, as long as you need to. Um, and if you keep repeating this, your mind makes it true. Or I'm not believing the compulsory thoughts. I'm not believing the compulsory thoughts. And it's the more detailed, the better. For example, if you're believing that there are evil aliens that are coming to get you, then you say, there are no evil aliens. Or better yet, because um, better yet is a positive thought, like I'm perfectly safe. I'm perfectly safe where I am without doing anything. No one is coming for me. These kind of things. Create a mantra that really fits your situation and just keep repeating it. And as soon as you get afraid and you're tempted to do the thing that you think you must do not do it, but say your mantra instead. So those were my tips of how to get out of the psychosis. First, sleep. So important. You cannot get out of the psychosis if you do not sleep. So you must sleep, no matter how. If you have to, take medication. That's just how it is. Don't take it for too long because it is very addictive. I took sleep medication for 3 days and then I stopped it. And I was out of the psychosis just fine. So it's really not necessary to take it for a long time, but it might be necessary to take it for a while because you must sleep. Second thing is, stop doing any spiritual practice, praying, meditating, whatever. Stop doing the thing that you think that you must do. Stop acting on compulsory thoughts. Do not do anything anymore that you think you must do, because it is not true. You are perfectly safe without doing this. Third thing is, do not be alone. Connect to others, connect to animals, connect to nature. Fourth thing I think was raise your vibration. So raise your vibration to the higher frequencies of joy, gratitude, love. And then the last thing that I said was, put your mind to it. Really, really have the willpower to say, enough is enough. It ends now, and it ends. And if it helps, repeat a mantra that is suited for you. Um, and this is what got me out of my psychosis. I did not take any antipsychotic medication, only the sleep medication, as I said. So this is enough to get you out of it. But if it's not, then of course, go to the doctor, go to a psychiatrist, whatever, and take the medication that they recommend. There is no shame in taking medication. You have to get out of the psychosis somehow. And if taking medication is the only way, then so be it. You can stop the medication later. It will be easier then to come back to these tips to prevent going into a new psychosis. So these tips can still be helpful on the longer run, but maybe for now you're just in too deep and it might not be enough. Feel free to try, but don't go too far. As I said, the longer you are psychotic, the deeper you are, the lower your frequency is. So feel free to try on your own. I really recommend it because taking medication is definitely not ideal. But if you cannot get out of it alone, then go to the doctor. There's no other way. So I really hope that this will be helpful. That you come out of this safe and sound. So many people have psychosis, much, much more than anyone realizes. It is quite common. Most of us are ashamed for it, about it. So most of us are ashamed that we had a psychosis, so we don't talk about it. But there really is no shame. It's just part of the game of life. So if you're having a psychosis right now, know that you are so loved and protected by your team, still by your higher self. Um, Maybe this is also an important one. When you're psychotic, you think that yeah, you are in so much danger that no one is there for you anymore, that your spirit team cannot help you. And this is not true at all. They know exactly where you are. They know that you are psychotic. They even up front, they knew the other team was going to make you psychotic and how you would react. So all of this is monitored. All of this is controlled. You are never out of the grasp of your team, of your higher self. They do not protect you from psychosis because you learn a lot from it. And I'll make another video of what to do after your psychosis, how to recover and how to learn from it. Because the psychosis is there for a reason. Your team has not abandoned you. It doesn't mean that they are not strong enough to protect you. If they wanted to, they could protect you, but there's a reason why they're not doing it, so that you might learn from this experience. So it's never true that you are unprotected, that you are alone. They are always there. They are monitoring you. They are controlling the situation. And if it goes too far, they will intervene. Um, yeah, I can think of lots of examples that you think, but this went too far. It's a very complex story. It's a very complex game that we're playing. Just know you are never, never alone, and the team is always watching you, and there is always a reason for things happening. So you are safe, even though it doesn't feel that way at all. You are so safe and protected all the time. You are so loved by your team. You cannot believe how much they love you. You cannot believe how much people around you love you. Yeah, you are held dear in our hearts. You are important to all of us. And I'm sorry that you have to go through this, because going through a psychosis just really, really sucks. It's hell. But you will get out of this. You will get out of this. And everything will be fine. Even though it doesn't feel like that right now. Maybe even tomorrow things will look completely different. So hold on. This is just for a short time, and you will get there. You are strong. You are so incredibly strong. You have so much willpower. You can do this, and you will do this. You will get out of this. Watch my other videos, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.